Good morning. You can hear me? Awesome. Good morning and welcome to Matt Schoolhouse. My name's Kirk Franz. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation, and I want to welcome you here. The first thing I'd like to do is just recognize our communications team and our Parks and Recreation team for kind of putting this together. So if you just join me in a little round of applause for them. Thank you. It's great to see a huge turnout. That tells a lot about what this project has been and what this building means to a lot of folks in this community. So it's great to see that we have a full house today. I would like to invite our Assistant County Manager, Tony Tarnacki, who's going to come up and give the invocation. And that's going to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance that's going to be led by Garrett Artizone. If y'all will please rise.
Good morning. It's my honor to be here this morning. Good morning. It's hard to believe. A couple years ago, we walked through. I think Laura and I were walking through, and thought, "Yeah, I see the vision, but there's a lot of work to do here." It's hard to believe when you walk through here today. It's a different place. It's exciting, and appreciate all the hard work that went into getting to this point. We'll get things kicked off today. With that, I invite you to join this celebration by thanking God for this wonderful opportunity and ask His blessings on this facility and the staff and the patrons that will visit and operate it. If you'll please bow your heads. Lord, we thank you for this great day and hope you continue to look over us and help us, guide us, protect us, help us to follow your word and celebrate you in everything we do. Thank you for bringing us together this morning, and we pray that you bless this facility and this community. Amen.
Please join me in singing the Pledge of Allegiance. I will pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Garrett. First, I'd like to invite Whitney Shaw, who's with the Jericho Group. The county worked with the Jericho Group to design the building, to actually bring a vision to life. And before she comes up, I also want to say, before you leave, make sure you stop by her table. They got some really great goodies up here to check out. But Whitney, come on up.
Thank you all for being here today. It's a momentous occasion to renovate a project of this, community. We were the architects for this amazing project, and we first visited the building in 2021, and it has become one of my most favorite reimagining projects. It was an underutilized building that had exposed rafters, boarded up windows. It had holes in walls, and so this renovation was never simply about restoring an old structure. It was about honoring the past while creating a place that serves the need of today and tomorrow. Our vision was to preserve the character with craftsmanship that made the schoolhouse special while thoughtfully adapting it into vibrant, welcoming, multi-use community building. As you walk through the building, you'll notice spaces designed to bring people together in many different ways. Former classrooms have been reimagined as flexible multi-use rooms that can host meetings, workshops, after-school programs, and neighborhood events. And there's now a dedicated art room, a place for creativity, expression, and learning across generations. The renovated stage creates opportunities for performances, lectures, music, and celebrations that will fill the building with life once again. Practical needs were equally important. We have new offices to provide community organizations, local services, and also updated restrooms and accessibility improvements that we've done for the building as well. What makes this renovation especially meaningful is the way historic character has been woven into every detail. Rather than recreating the past exactly as it was, we chose to reinterpret historic finishes in a fresh and thoughtful way. The penny tile flooring, for example, recalls the craftsmanship and durability common in early civic buildings while introducing a clean, updating aesthetic. Historic style lighting down the corridor brings warmth and familiarity to the interiors, echoing the glow that once illuminated these hallways decades ago. Beadboard wainscoting adds texture, character, and most important, wall protection, as we know in a heavily used building, and a sense of timelessness, connecting the new spaces to the architecture of the original schoolhouse. These elements are more than decorative features. They tell a story. They remind us that good design can preserve memory while supporting modern life. Every finish, every texture, every restored detail was chosen to care to create a building that feels both rooted in history and alive with possibility. Projects like this don't happen by accident. They happen because people believe in the value of community, preservation, shared spaces, and most importantly, this building belongs to you all. We hope that the new Matt Schoolhouse Community Building becomes a place where children discover new talents, artists share their work, neighbors gather in conversation, families celebrate milestones, and local organizations find support and connection. We welcome you all to the new Matt Schoolhouse Community Building.
Thank you, Whitney. We're honored to have a former school teacher that once taught here. Oh, student, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'd like to invite Miss Barbara Hamby to come up.
They were going to wonder if I was going to be nervous, and I said, well, I'm just going to pretend that you're my Sunday school class, and that'll work. I teach Sunday school at Oak Grove Baptist Church, so I'll just pretend you're there this morning. It's been a long time since I've been here. It brings back quite a few memories. I talked to someone I went to school with last night, and we had a good time going back and talking about all the things that happened at Matt Junior High School. So when I first walked into this building, I was in the 3rd grade, and that before that, I went to a one-room schoolhouse called Elmo, and it's about 2 miles from here on Elmo Road. And at that time, you had community schools. Each community had their own, and everybody walked to school. And it was something different when they consolidated. They decided to consolidate the whole schools, and now we had school buses. We never rode a school bus before, and it wasn't like it is now when the moms is taking all the kids to school the first day and right there with. No, your mom put you on the school bus, and that was it. You had to make your own way wherever you were going. So, but fortunately, when I was going to one-room school, it was on my dad's farm, so all I had to do was walk up the hill. And so many kids had to walk, kids today don't even believe this, that some of them had to walk 2 or 3 miles to get to school at that time, and they missed grades because they missed so much school the school year because on the muddy roads and the bad weather they couldn't get to school. Now this is real. This is not something I've made up, and it's completely a different time. But we came to a new building. Everything was new. We even had, because when you was in that one-room school, you had a bench, and then we got here. We had chairs, we had desk, but you know what? We still didn't have a bathroom. We went to outhouses down here in the field. We had outhouses, and that's where you went to the bathroom. But it was a completely different time, that's for sure. And y'all know this Lloyd Grogan's store over here. It was a thriving business at that time. And when when we first came to school, we'd just go across the road and go. And a lot of people spent their lunch money on instead of eating in the lunchroom, they would get the candy, and so that had to be stopped real quick. And it was also dangerous, although there was no traffic then. Can you believe that? There was no traffic then. It was dangerous for the kids to be going back and forth across the road. But we knew everybody. We knew everybody in the whole community. It was, and if you did something wrong at school, it wasn't 2 minutes till your parents knew about it. So it was a different time. So anyway, we did have a lunchroom, and that was it was Lois Hurd and Jewel Jennings. They cooked for the whole school. Can you imagine cooking for the whole school, no dishwasher? How they did it, I don't know. And we had regular meals. It was not like, from what I understand, that some of the lunchrooms today have. We had regular, good country food every day. So, and now this one is that at this time you could punish the kids if they did something wrong. I don't remember the girls ever getting it, but the boys would get a whipping or a paddling or a whipping if they did something wrong. Can you imagine today if that happened? They'd be in jail before you knew it, but it worked. So maybe we're missing something here. I don't know, because believe you me, I've got so many school teachers in my family. I hear a lot of stories that goes on in their schools today. So, but anyway, the boys, they got their share of that. That's for sure. And I was talking to someone a few minutes ago, and I said, he asked me what was some of the memories, and one of the memories is my 9th grade year. We had a new principal, and his name was Benjamin Franklin Tingle Jr. First, I think. And he decided he was going to get us ready to go to high school. And believe you me, he made changes. And a lot of the boys did get a whipping that year, I'll tell you, that because he did not tolerate there was no discipline problems whatsoever. Believe you me, there was none whatsoever. What was so funny, he and his wife that year had a new baby, and guess what they named it? Benjamin Franklin Tingle III. I wonder sometimes about the people like the generations that follows, that happened. But he was one more great teacher. He really was. And but so he was determined we were going to. He put everything he had into it that year. So some may think that we were just a little country school. But when I was in the 11th grade, the valedictorian and the salutatorian, guess where they came from? Matt Junior High School. And when I was in the 12th grade, guess where the valedictorian and salutatorian came from? Matt Junior High School. And we was a little bit proud of that. And anyway, I hope that, I was thinking about when I was walking through today, if these walls could talk, what stories they could tell. And so I hope that we've torn down so many landmarks in our county. I'm so glad that we have preserved this one, and I hope it'll be put to good use for this community and all of Forsyth County, just as it has been in the past. Oh, and for the new people that's just come into this area, this is Forsyth County, not Forsyth County.
Thank you, Ms. Hamby. That was great to hear. hear your stories and your memories. Next, I'd like to invite up our county manager, David McKee.
Ms. Hamby, I'm not real sure how I'm going to follow that. I did not go to this school, so therefore I was not the valedictorian or salutatorian or anybody, but I did jot down a few words over there, so I'm going to go off script here for just a second. Practical, multi-use, creativity, opportunity, historic, fresh, character, and possibility. The speakers that spoke before me, those words came out of their mouth. That is exactly, all of those things is a culmination of what this building has become. So good morning. My name's David McKee. I have the opportunity and the honor, this thing's vibrating, have the honor to be your county manager, and it is absolutely an honor to do that. Following this ribbon cutting today marks two community assets that we have revitalized in this North Forsyth community in the last 3 weeks. Bennett Park being one, and now Matt Community Schoolhouse. It's always rewarding when we reach this point. My team hears me say it all the time. I love cutting more ribbons than we do shovels in the dirt. So this is a bit rewarding. Matt Schoolhouse has been a recognizable part of the community for many, many generations. Even for the people who may not have attended this themselves, the buildings like this, generally people understand where Matt Community Schoolhouse is or where these historic type buildings are. Forsyth County has changed significantly over the years. Ms. Barbara just talked a little bit about some of the change, and I got the opportunity to sit down with her for a second just before we got started. Some's good, and we can all argue some of it probably not so good. I think this project reflects that well balance. I talked about those words that Whitney spoke of, or Ms. Barbara spoke of, or Kirk, and I do think that this reflects balance. We're going to hear from Kirk in just a couple minutes about what we're going to do with this building and what it'll bring to the community. Rather than replacing a piece of local history, the county chose to invest in restoring that. That approach takes effort, more planning, and long-term commitment. The long-term commitment from our Board of Commissioners. We could have done a lot of other things with the money that was spent to put into this, but revitalizing this little piece of history is very important and continues to be important, and for all of us to have a place moving forward in the future. I want to thank our Board of Commissioners, both current and past, for helping us with this vision, and our current Board of Commissioners that continue in that vision all the way through. I want to thank our county staff, our facility staff, our Parks and Recreation staff, and then anybody on the team, the project team that made this happen. Y'all have heard me say this before. I'll pause and even acknowledging anyone because I'm going to miss somebody. It truly takes a community. It truly does take a village to get us to this point. We are very, very proud of the work that is done, and we are very proud to officially reopen, for multiple times reopen, the Matt Community Schoolhouse. Thank you for being here today, and it is an honor to introduce District 4 Commissioner Mendy Moore.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. It is so good to see such a full room, that each of you took time out of your morning to come celebrate this, come see this new space. So thank you for being here. It is truly a special day for this community as we celebrate the ribbon cutting of the Matt Schoolhouse Community Building, a place that carries both history and a renewed purpose for our future. For many in Forsyth County, this place is more than just a building. It's a reminder of where this community started. Originally built as a one-room schoolhouse in 1948, Matt Schoolhouse served 75 students in the Matt community. Children came here to learn, to grow, and to build foundations for their futures. It was a place of opportunity, of connection, and community long before we used those words in planning, documents, and meetings. This project is not just about restoring a historic building, though. It's about preserving its legacy while giving it new life in a way that serves the needs of the community today. With this renovation, the Matt Schoolhouse Community Building becomes something both familiar and new. It will serve as a home for Parks and Recs, Therapeutic Recreation Division, providing inclusive opportunities and programs for residents of all abilities to connect and thrive. It will house staff from recycling and solid waste, supporting essential services that help keep our community clean and sustainable. Next week, it will serve as a voting precinct, continuing its long tradition as a civic community gathering place and a space for meetings and events. In many ways, this building is returning to its roots. It was once a place where people came together to learn and engage, and now it will once again serve as a place where the community gathers, but just in a different way. But projects like these don't happen without vision, dedication, and support. I want to thank our Parks and Recreation team, our staff in recycling and solid waste, our project teams, and everyone who played a role in bringing this building back to life. Thank you for being here to celebrate this moment, and I look forward to seeing this building thrive and continue to give back to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mendy. When you're the last speaker, you got to kind of maybe try to come up with some new stuff, but you might hear some things you've already heard. But I'd like to start by thanking our Board of Commissioners and Commissioner Moore, and also our county management for their continued support of Parks and Recreation, that believe in projects like this, that preserve history, while also serving the needs of the community. I don't think that he's here, but our public facilities team was the main project management group on this project. So Brian Munhill, who's our current Director of Public Facilities, I'd like to thank him, along with Dan Callahan, who is our former Director of Public Facilities. Melody Fontana was our project manager. And then along with Whitney and the team from Jericho Group, and also the team from Pencor, who was the contractor that did the building of this renovation. I want to thank them for their tremendous work and leadership that helped make this renovation possible. I also want to thank Laura, who's our Deputy Director. She took a lead on our team to really dive into the details on this project, and also to Whitman Morgan and Jill Height, who's leaders on our therapeutic recreation program, and all of our Parks and Recreation staff. And I'd also just like to recognize our participants. Some of them are here tonight from Project Project Rise, and the families that we serve for these programs. So David wanted me to talk on what the building was, and then Mendy kind of went and talked about it a little bit, and so that's fine. But after this is done, after we cut the ribbon, I invite you to walk around and just look at all the aspects of the building. Over here, we're going to have a kitchen area, and kind of like a green room for when we have a theater or performances going on here in the stage. Down this hallway, we have an art room. We also have some programming room, and also a room where parents can kind of have a little lounge and relax while the participants are in activities, and then also some space for our staff. But this was one of two places that our therapeutic recreation program will be housed out of. You probably don't know it, but we actually pulled therapeutic recreation out of another division and created a new division within the past couple of years called Specialty Rec. And what we did that because we had a vision that therapeutic recreation, along with outdoor recreation, needed some room to grow. And so by creating its own separate division and now having these facilities, it's going to give them that room to grow, and I think the community is going to grow along with it. So what makes this project special is that this building was given a second life instead of being torn down. And that decision matters. Today, it's no longer an old schoolhouse. It's a place where individuals with all abilities will build friendships, confidence, skills, and memories. It'll be a place of connection, inclusion, laughter, and community. And in many ways, it feels like it's very fitting for a building that originally was a place for learning and growing. As Parks and Recreation professionals, that's really what we strive to do, is create spaces that bring people together and improve the quality of life. And we're proud of what this building will mean to the Matt community over the next several years. So thank you for being here today. I believe the next step is we're going to go outside to cut the ribbon. Amanda's saying yes. All right. So thanks again for being here today. After we cut the ribbon, again, please, the building is open for you all to tour and take a look. Don't forget to stop by the Jericho table here for some treats, and we also have some other tables around the room for you to come visit. But thanks again for being here today. Let's go cut the ribbon.